The Tainted Personality of Joel by Ivan McWilliams. Chapter 6. Back Home. When we arrived at the police station, the two officers escorted us to this room that contained clean clothes. After we picked out some clean clothes that we thought would be decent to wear, they escorted us to another room with a few showers, and they told us that we had 10 minutes to wash the blood off. After we did, we changed into the clean clothes. Then they escorted us to the interrogation room, and after asking us a few questions, they told us that while they were deciding what to do with us, we would have to wait in here. Then they left the room and locked the door behind them. To pass the time, I chatted with Eugene and Sean a little bit. Then, I don't know why, but Sean decided to make a little remark about that dirty joke Eugene told at school. You know, Eugene, I can't believe that last night you were so drunk that you decided to tell me that story. Most people would probably find a story like that way too embarrassing to tell, but not you. That was so pathetic of you. Eugene said in an irked voice. Okay, Sean, I don't want to hear any more about that. Then I said, well, guys, do you want to hear some advice I have? They both said, sure. Well, Eugene, it was pretty stupid of you to tell a dirty joke that was planned out very badly. But here's the thing. A lot of people find dirty jokes like that just weird, but there is a way to make them the exact opposite of weird. Usually if you're telling a dirty joke that's not just dirty, but has some context as to why you have a good reason to be mentioning whatever dirty thing you're talking about, there's a chance that people will find your joke really funny. In fact, ironically, that dirty joke that got you in trouble at school is a great example of that. Although it of course wasn't very funny of you to take the first syllable of the name Dixon and emphasize it to make it sound like a swear word, it's actually so hilarious that you were stupid enough to tell it in a classroom, and even if a parent is the teacher, it's highly unusual of them to give their kids such a humiliating punishment in the middle of class. You see what I'm saying, Eugene? I just told you the context as to why that incident was really funny, although people usually want to avoid hearing any type of dirty thing. Eugene giggled self-consciously. Then, for the next few minutes, I started thinking about what would potentially happen next, now that we were in custody. I thought that maybe the cops would take me back to my dad's apartment before sending me to juvie where I should have gone days ago, so I got out my phone and called him. I expected him to be all pissed off they had broken the law multiple times, as well as having been on the run, but pleasantly surprisingly, he said in this delighted voice, "Hello, son," I said. "Hi, Dad," he exclaimed. "Oh my God, son, it's great to hear your voice again. Are you okay?" "Yes, I am okay. But I don't know if you've heard about this, but Eugene's brother is dead. He recently committed suicide." "Good grief! Of course I've heard about that. Just half an hour ago, I got a call from the sheriff's office, and they told me that you told the police that he drowned himself in the ocean. And they also told me about all those people you and your friends ran over." Although my father sounded pretty shocked right now, it just felt great just to hear his lively way of talking once again, even though it was only for a split second. At least telling him how I was doing kind of made up for the fact that I felt like I kind of betrayed him by running away. My father continued, "Well, it's great to be talking to you for the first time in days. I was scared to death, but it feels great to know you're okay." That's when I started feeling terrible that before I ran away, I had stolen all the cash in his wallet when he had been treating me so well. Then I told him, "Well, I'm so sorry I was such a bitch. I shouldn't have taken all your money. You've been a great father, and I decided to screw you over." My dad tried to console me, but that just made me feel so much worse. I shouted, "Well, Dad, are you freaking kidding me? I just stole from my father, like, what kind of an asshole am I? How dare I? I can't believe I gave you something you didn't even deserve, but I needed some sort of money to buy food and all that other shit. Then I started really feeling pissed that I was so insecure about something that was so essential to do in order to stay alive. I continued, my gosh, why the hell am I so pissed about stealing from you when I needed that money? I shouldn't be this upset about this thing like some kind of pussy. My dad said, you're right. I think I should kind of forgive you because you would probably die without that basic shit, son. I know, Dad. Anyway, I don't have any cold medicine, but won't my cold go away on its own? Well, it seems like you only have a minor cold, so as long as you stay very warm, it should. Besides, the sheriff told me on the phone that the police will probably drive you back to my house before you have to go to juvie, so don't worry, 'cause there will be plenty of cold medicine waiting for you. Thanks, Dad. In fact, I've actually been feeling kind of better these past few days. Anyway, it was great talking to you. It was great talking to you too. I love you, son. I love you too, Dad. Then I hung up. Next, Eugene said something pretty odd, which was that he was about to call Lola, and he just wanted to see how she would react since she probably knew we were on the run. He got out his phone and called her. When she picked up, she said, "What do you want, Eugene?" "Well, Lola, I know it's awkward that I'm calling you when we're no longer together, but long story short, Joel and I recently got arrested, and now we're sitting in the interrogation room, and we're kind of bored." "Oh, well, how did you get arrested?" "Well, I'm pretty sure you know that we're on the run, but Joel recently got in trouble, and these men captured him and started doing God knows what to him, so he had to kill them out of self-defense and then call the police to report the killing." Lola exclaimed, "Oh my God, you actually killed some guys?" "Yes, what we did will probably end up on the news anyway, so you'll probably be able to find out more about what we did when it does." Lola said, "Oh, well, I can't wait till it does. Anyway, it was good talking to you. It was good talking to you, too." Then she hung up. About an hour later, the door started unlocking, and then the same white cop and his buddy entered the room. He told us, "Hey guys, we recently checked the security footage, and it turns out that you did run those guys over out of self-defense. You'll probably still have to show up in juvenile court for taking all those lives, but I highly doubt that you guys will be charged with anything. We've also made some phone calls, and we've decided that it would be only fair for you, Joel, and your friend Eugene to be able to spend a little more time with your families, instead of going straight to juvie. Finally, you, Sean, will of course not be put in custody at all since you didn't commit any sort of crime. Anyway, go ahead and get back in the squad car, 'cause we're dropping the three of you back off at home." A wave of relief swept through me when the cop told me that news. In fact, I was pretty glad that I was back in custody since I was getting tired of running from the law. Then, the three of us got back in the police cruiser, and the first person the officers dropped off was Sean. They parked the car by the beach, and he got out and waved at us as he walked towards his beach house. Then, the officers drove away from Santa Monica, and half an hour later, we arrived at Eugene's house. He stepped out of the vehicle, walked up to his house, and rang the doorbell. His mom opened the door, and like her usual strict self, she started scolding him for going on the run. Finally, the officers managed to drive me back to my apartment in a matter of minutes. I stepped out of the car, and then climbed up the stairs of the building towards my apartment. I rang the doorbell, and then my dad called, "Who is it?" I called back, "It's me." Then he swung the door open, and with a bright smile on his face, he exclaimed, "Oh my gosh, Joel, it's great to see you face to face again." I said, "I want to do my time. I'm sick of constantly running from cops, and I'm more than ready to go to juvie." He exclaimed, "That's great to hear." The second I entered the apartment, he gave me a hug that lasted for a good 5 seconds. Then he pointed at the couch and said, Have a seat, son. Let's talk." We both sat down. Then he said, "Son, I know you've made so many poor choices these past several days, but I know this isn't you. I'm so glad to hear that you want to do your time because I sense that you want to receive consequence for what you've done, and that shows that you have a pretty decent character. Besides, I hope you never have to experience anything as gory as what happened tonight ever again, even if it's out of self-defense. Also, when you get out of juvie, I promise I'll be a great father, and I will make sure to keep you away from horrible people, like that psychopath, who thinks he's doing all his crazy and delusional shit for God." "Thanks, Dad." "You're welcome, son." The end. Now, you just listened to the final chapter of the Tainted Personality of Joel. I will publish a few more audiobooks soon, and I'll even publish a sequel to this book. I won't give any spoilers for now, though, but I'm pretty sure you guys will be wondering what it will look like when Joel is doing his time in juvie, so comment down below if you want me to write a lot about the consequences he will receive in the sequel. Also, if you have any other ideas for what I should write about, tell me in the comments section. However, this audiobook is not completely over yet because pretty soon I'll publish a little video of me reading the author's note and the back cover.